we are gonna play some Fortnite.
To a Land Rover he had designed to carry his own coffin. Prince Philip meticulously with the precision of his military task.
This is how you dance in the sky. Today we are gonna be looking at some people that have. Okay, really, this is not really working. Who's gonna be the? Can someone be the cameraman for me?
I'm busy. I'm playing my game.
Someone needs to be my cameraman. Daddy!
He's in the bathroom. Wait till he comes out of the bathroom. You can put him on the camera.
There was no eulogy at the prince's request. Because of the pandemic, the choir in St. George's Chapel was reduced to 4 members. Only 30, mostly close relatives, were allowed inside, masked and barred from singing. The Queen distanced from her family. Royal author Robert Hartman.
Oh, she's desperately sad that she's dealing with it. She's in charge. She's very much still the Queen.
Mourners left tributes outside Windsor Castle, despite requests not to gather. This was a family funeral of national significance. The Queen now enters her final chapter without her husband of 73 years, but we hear she's already back at work. And there are hints of a possible family reconciliation. Right after the funeral, Princes William and Harry were seen walking and talking together. Adriana?
Roxana Saberi outside Windsor Castle, thank you. To Indianapolis now, where vigils are planned for the victims of America's latest mass shooting. At least 8 people were killed in the massacre at the FedEx facility. CBS's Nikki Batiste is there. Nikki, good evening. Adriana, good evening. Authorities have not said if
I really need to play more Fortnite.
We spoke with the granddaughter of one of them. She says her grandmother was walking to her car in this FedEx parking lot when she was fatally shot.
I just feel so empty. I feel like this is supposed to be one of the biggest days of my life.
Tonight, Kamal Chauhan planned to celebrate her engagement.
I'm going in.
Mourning the loss of her grandmother.
Earthquake in Fortnite. Okay, it's up. Oof.
The youngest to die were both 19. The eldest was 74-year-old John Weissert. His wife of nearly 50 years showed us this picture just before she learned her husband had not survived.
He does his job starting at 5:30. So that was it. I just said goodbye. Have a good evening.
Armed with a rifle, 19-year-old Brandon Cole, a former FedEx employee, took 8 lives in a matter of minutes.
They have an active shooter currently at FedEx.
Police said he then shot himself. A year ago, the teen's own mother had reported him to local police, saying he might try to die by suicide by cop. Authorities say Cole was put on a mental health detention.
Okay. Let's get to our other game. And our other game is Pokemon Shield. Again, don't have the game card. Sit here, watch my Nintendo Switch, make sure it doesn't go nowhere.
Go for it, girl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Demonstrators are still taking to the streets to protest police involvement, including in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.
Oh, look for it.
Nearly 5
Looking for my game card
for
check.
a 6th night
Got
in the
what?
wake of the police shooting of Dante Wright. Police say
Here's
about
the game card
100
check.
people were arrested. And in Chicago, hundreds turned out to bring justice for the shooting death of 13
Okay, don't worry, I'm almost there.
protests were mostly peaceful, but there were some clashes with police.
Come on, open up.
The world's
This is the FBI, open up.
staggering new milestone today.
FBI, open up. Yeah,
For the latest, Tom Hanks
Stand up. Now I can show you guys. Pokemon Shield.
Nearly 250,000 COVID cases in the last week alone, even as vaccinations accelerate.
Tonight, cases on the rise, with several states across the country battling new infections. The CDC blames dangerous variants and relaxed restrictions, including mask mandates, for the increase in cases.
Okay, we get it.
Go through the path of successfully and quickly vaccinating the country.
It's a race
Yay.
with nearly a
Now I am showing you how to get the Pokemon. Okay, so one of the Pokemon Gremlin. Well, the Meowth Gremlin, I think. Grandma. Wait here for a minute. And I'm not gonna play any of the games.
In your experience, how many of these 9 people in this one room will recover or not?
And some better news here in New York. Hospitalizations in the state have dropped to their lowest point since December. And the New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio says 5 million New Yorkers should be fully vaccinated by June. Adriana?
Tom Hansen, thank you. A deadly COVID variant tearing through Brazil has that country's medical system at a breaking point. A CBS News team traveled there this week, and as Manuel Bajorquez reports, the situation is dire.
Vila Penteado Hospital in Sao Paulo is not only full, it no longer accepts anyone but COVID-19 patients. Dr. Daniela de Jesus says the virus's victims are getting younger, and once they are here, the odds are against them.
In your experience, how many of these 9 people in this one room will recover or not?
Menos da metade. Menos da metade se recupera.
Less than half will recover. You really think this is a worst case scenario, being in this hospital? In this room, people are being intubated. In the other room, we saw someone getting chest compressions.
It's exhausting work, emotionally too.
E na maioria dos casos, esses pacientes, a última visão é minha.
You're the last person they see before they die. Some of them.
For many here, suffering is taking different forms. The virus's economic toll means food insecurity is surging, especially in the favelas, lower income settlements. This young man, Antonio, made it clear to us what he'd have to do if it weren't for the daily community lunches distributed here.
If you did this, meaning robbing people would be the other option.
Quando você faz assim, roubar seria outra opção?
Outra opção que é falta de oportunidade. Sem trabalho. Because there's no opportunity, no oportunidade.
Much could have been done to prevent things getting so bad, says Duke Professor Miguel Nicolelis. He blames President Jair Bolsonaro's lax pandemic response, especially in light of a more contagious homegrown variant known as P1, driving the surge here.
It's like having a gigantic nuclear reactor getting into a chain reaction out of control and exploding all over, the neighborhood. It's not only going to kill Brazilians, it could kill people all over the world.
There is sobering news about the variant that originated here. The country's Public Health Institute, Fiocruz, says research shows it is mutating itself into a form that could evade antibodies. That worries scientists who think it could become more resistant to vaccines. Manuel Bajorquez, CBS News, Sao Paulo.
The pandemic is far from over, many thanks. There will be more on the COVID crisis and other pressing global affairs tomorrow on Face the Nation. Market Brennan's guests include the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, and the new U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield. Divers return today to the waters off the Louisiana coast. They are searching for lost crew members aboard a lift boat that capsized on Tuesday. 2 more bodies were recovered yesterday.
Okay, you go to Route 4 of Leafland. I like to call it Leafland, or whatever it's named called. And there is a high chance you can find a gremlin. Talk to see you can do. Wait a second. Is that shiny? Is this guy shiny? Steel.
Meet the team getting the game into new hands. And later,
Yep, it's legendary.
one woman's quest to save
You can tell by its different color.
something she bargained for.
Catch it.
A lot of people think dealing with COPD is a walk in the park. If I have something to help me breathe better, everything will be fun and nice. But I still have bad days.
And that is how you catch Meowth, Fortnite, and Pokemon so far. So now what should I do?
Because in the real world, our lungs
So if I get 10 likes, I will continue another one. And they'll get better and better and better. And eventually you'll like them.
Breaststroke won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart
Boom.